What's up, everybody? Well, today I am here to show you another vacuum that's in my vacuum collection. And as you may have guessed it, it's another Hoover Elite. I've said this once before in many videos prior, but I will say it again. I love Hoover Elites. They're probably my most favorite vacuum. They're the vacuum that got me interested in vacuum collecting, fixing, selling, refurbishing, restoring. Pretty much all of the above that I just listed. I don't know what it is about them. Maybe it's their simplicity or the fact that they are just very visually iconic. Or it could be the fact that a lot of my family members had variations of these vacuums when I was growing up. But irregardless, I love Elites, and I always try to snatch one up whenever a good-looking one comes across my path. So today, I am here to bring to you a Hoover Runabout. This vacuum I actually bought from a local Goodwill in my area for only $10. And my mind, if something's being sold for that cheap, there has to be something wrong with it. But when I got this home, there absolutely was nothing wrong with it. The motor sounded perfectly healthy. The only fault I had with it is, for some reason, the onboard hose had a clog. And I don't know what the previous owner was trying to pick up with this thing. And I'm glad that that hose actually did get clogged, because whatever they did try to suck up, that thing would have probably gone through the fan and potentially damaged it. So I obviously tore this thing down, cleaned everything up, washed up everything, and put in a fresh new bag, a couple other things here and there, and here's how it sits today. You should know, every Elite I get in my collection, or if any Elite I find locally, you best believe I'm not going to think twice. I'm going to pick it up right as I see it, even if it needs a whole lot of repairs. I've developed a big passion for restoring and rebuilding old Hoover Elites and making them run like new again. Initially, I wasn't wanting to get another Runabout model, since I already have the blue version of this Runabout, but since it was for sale locally and I got such a good deal on it, I just couldn't pass it up. So I thought I would pick it up and clean it up and make a video of it for you guys. So let's go ahead and enter the walkthrough of it. So this being one of the lower end of the Elite models, it does have the slide top bag instead of the side zip bag. So as you can see right up front here, it has the Runabout name on the front there. One of the many names used on the Elites, but however, the Runabout was actually exclusive to Kmart of the time. And the Runabout name was basically having the Hoover cleaners marketed as budget alternatives to the higher end models they also sold, which ironically some were called the Elite back then of its time, while the Runabout was pretty much the budget version. Which, if you get one of these, you're pretty much just getting the same Hoover Elite or Elite Supreme that you're getting. It's just is that the appearance is a little bit different, being that it's a soft bag with slide top instead of the side zip or even a hard bag cover. And to get to your bag on these, you gotta remove that little clip from the top there, and you slide it off on either side to get access to your inner bag. And as you can see, there is the Hoover Type A bag. It's a very large bag capacity, and they work very good. If any of you can find the HEPA cloth bags like I'm currently running in this, I would more than recommend running them. You'll increase your filtration by quite a bit, And these honestly filter much better than even the genuine paper bags do of the time. So you can run Y bags in these because the collar is the same size, but if you can find HEPA A bags, I would more than recommend running them. You'll increase your filtration, plus you'll have larger capacity without needing to stop and change your bag all the time. And they're just overall much better. So as we move along down here, we have right here your 6-position carpet height adjustment knob. I always leave it in the middle for the pile of this carpet. This model does come with a headlight, so that is one nice extra feature to have. And you also do have your tool door right here on the side that you can flip up to use it to use your cleaning tools. And this uses only 7 amps on the motor, which a lot of people may tend to overlook that and gravitate towards the 12 amp motors. But however, what should be noted, just because it only draws 7 amps doesn't mean this thing doesn't have sufficient cleaning power. A lot of the 12 amp motors are surprisingly a lot weaker than some 7 amp motors back in the mid-90s. And as you can see right over here, we do have the cleaning effectiveness per amp, one of Hoover's famous marketing techniques back then, giving lower end models lower cleaning effectiveness per amp ratings, which this has no kind of cleaning metric at all. This is just Hoover's famous marketing technique to make the higher end models look prettier on the shelf and giving them a higher price tag. And there's your Runabout label right there with a nice little orange scribble right there on the front. Actually, it looks more like a burgundy. And it's got the same one up there on the outer bag, right where the Runabout logo is. And it has brushed edge cleaning on both sides. And now let's go ahead and flip this thing underneath to show you the underside. This does have a new brush roll installed. It is a generic Cleveland Wood Products brush roll that I had laying around from a parts bin and I threw in, mostly because I wanted to see how this thing would behave with a Cleveland wood roller. These do make good replacements, and admittedly these things are much better built than even the genuine brush rolls are, because they have sealed ball bearings on both sides, where the original Elite brush roll would have had open bearings that easily cake up with dirt. So for these Cleveland wood rollers to have sealed bearings, that adds a bit of the durability. And also that it's a wooden roller, where the original brush roll was acrylic plastic, which is basically a hard resin material. So the bristles on this are pretty soft, but they are also pretty dense. So my initial turnoff of this brush roll was the soft bristles, but after seeing how dense they are, I do kind of like it a little bit more. Of course, this thing doesn't perform nearly the same as the genuine brush rolls do. This one definitely does perform a bit better than the original brush roll that would have came in this, which was the single row brush roll that had green bristles instead of the white stiffer bristles. The green bristles are much softer than even these aftermarket Cleveland wood rollers. These do feel a little bit stiffer than the green bristle brush roll. And also they do have these little oddball brushes on each side after the bristles, which I'm thinking that's supposed to help with edge cleaning. So this brush roll, while it's not the best, it still has some pros over the genuine brush roll. And so far, I've ran it in this, and it seems to work pretty good. So don't let that discourage you from upgrading to one of these brush rolls. I mean, if you can't get like a genuine brush roll for a half-decent price, or if the other brush roll you have is like damaged beyond repairs, i.e. the bristles are so worn down that they're stupidly short nubs then yeah, it would be much easier for you to update to one of these Cleveland wood rollers. And also, they do clean very good and are much better built. So now let's go ahead and show you the model number on the back here. This is Hoover Cleaner model U4258-930. Interestingly enough, I have another Runabout of the same model, but only it's a blue color. I'm thinking it was, after 97 or early 98 when the color changed from blue to this burgundy red. Because the blue one I have is a little bit older of a serial number. And as you can see, it's 120 volts, 60 hertz, 7 amps, bag type A, and the Series B 7 amp motor, belt type 38528-027. Serial number on this, the first and second digit will decode the month, third and fourth will decode the year. So this vacuum was manufactured in February of 2000. That's a key indicator how new these Elite models ran up to. Because I have a couple other Elites that are also from 2000. And this is a Hoover company from North Canton, Ohio, for household use only, made in the USA. That is one thing I love about these old Hoovers, is that they are US made. And a lot of people also may be turned off of this because of it's being entirely made out of plastic, but on the contrary, this is made honestly much better than a lot of today's Hoovers. See, you can twist the plastic and look. See how it kind of twists the vacuum with it? So while the plastic may be a little bit thin and was definitely cheap of the time, is definitely a lot better built today. And so right here are your attachments along the back here. These are upgraded attachments because when I got this, all the attachments were missing. And all it has was this extension wand. But anyway, these, I did put some tan attachments from a higher end Elite model just to kind of see how it would look on this. And so far they look pretty good. But right there's your upholstery tool, crevice tool, and dusting brush. And I think I've pretty much shown you all around this cleaner, and now let's go ahead and get to the part you guys have been wanting to see, the turning on and running of this guy. So now we'll go ahead and release the power cord. Alright, I'd just like to run my hand down the cord to make sure this thing doesn't get any tangles, because that's one annoyance that you have for one of these. Sometimes the cord tangles pretty easily. So let's go ahead and plug this guy in. And we will go ahead and turn this thing on and give you a demo of it running. And typical Elite fashion, your power switch is on the side of the cleaner. You turn it to the light so you can see it. It's a little plastic slider switch that is connected to a actual rod that runs down into where a main rocker switch is in the valley of the motor, which Hoover calls this a safety switch, which I kind of see why, because this switch design doesn't get people electrocuted like if they were to actually put a rocker switch in its place. And so let's go ahead and get to cleaning with this. Typical Elite fashion, these things are pretty loud when they're running, so headphone users, I would advise turning down your volume for this part. So, here we go. It propels itself. this thing runs smooth. And just to let you know, I literally did nothing to the motor. The bearings feel pretty good, and the only thing I did was strip the motor down just to wash off all the plastics in the dishwasher. But the motor itself wasn't touched. It wasn't rebuilt or anything. Well, not by me at least. But before we end the video, let's go ahead and show you this thing in tool mode. So we'll go ahead and just lift up this tool door, and then the hose will just pop in like that. Because this vacuum is direct air, I wouldn't expect miracle suction power out of this thing, but from my experience from a lot of these Hoovers with the wraparound hose, these usually have a little bit better suction and airflow than the ones with the side mount hose, plastic or flexible.
Like about these wraparound hose models is they always have this little curve at the end, and it makes it more comfortable to use.
Alright. Well, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed this video on the Hoover Runabout. Be sure and stay tuned, and don't forget to like, rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.